Hi, my name is Greta. I'm actually a registered nurse, and we're going to talk about nutrition today. I'm also a diabetes educator, so I do talk about food almost every day. I have very good news for you. This is not going to be new information. You already know it. I also have good news in that you have to eat. I think that's wonderful news. And it's very important to eat healthy most of the time, all right? So what does that look like if you're preparing for surgery and wanting to have a successful recovery after? Well, your body needs three kinds of foods. It needs protein, fat, and carbohydrates. The first thing we're going to talk about is protein, because your body is constantly making new, and it certainly needs to make new successfully and rapidly after surgery. You're going to want to make new cells to knit back together the skin. You're going to want to make new collagen cells, cartilage cells, and potentially even bone cells to resurface from this surgery. The ingredient that you need for that is protein. So think about what you're eating that is good protein for your body. Typically what I hear is meat. And you're absolutely right. That's a huge source of protein. Things like fish, I hope that was in your mind. Things like poultry, so chicken, turkey, or any kind of bird. Pork, that's protein. And typically we're thinking about beef, all right? So indeed, beef is a great source as well. But I don't want you to forget another source of protein, because the medical world really does encourage us to eat some plant-based protein. And that's not a difficult thing for most of us, because I think most of us do enjoy chili. If you like kidney beans, if you like Mexican food, those frijoles, pinto beans, if you enjoy legumes, navy beans, white beans, pinto beans, I think I said that already. I'm thinking of even peanuts. Some people put that in the nut category. We'll talk about nuts too, but peanuts are an excellent source of protein for us, and peanut butter. Another source is nuts. So if you enjoy walnuts, almonds, cashews, all of those are excellent plant-based proteins, very healthy for us. Now back to animal-based protein. The medical world is always going to suggest that we go lean with animal protein. So if I think about chicken, the big deal is get rid of the skin, take the skin off the chicken. If you like dark meat, that's okay. The dietitians assure me that if I take the skin off those thighs, it's not that big of a difference. It's okay. So enjoy that. When it comes to red meat, the medical world is going to say go lean. So when you're thinking about that, I'm thinking elk, venison, extremely lean. And when it comes to beef, drain the grease off of that hamburger, or pick the lean cuts. I enjoy a good prime rib myself. That's definitely not a lean meat. So I'm also not eating that every day. So I think it's okay on occasion. The medical world encourages us to eat red meat in moderation. And one of the reasons for that is because it's actually very inflammatory to our bodies when we take in red meat. There's many things that are. There's environmental things. I think about in the summertime, all the smoke in the air. I have asthma. That's very difficult for my lungs. There's medical conditions that are inflammatory to our bodies. I wonder about arthritis, definitely an inflammatory disease process. Pain is inflammatory. But indeed, foods can be inflammatory to our body as well. So we have some control over that. The foods that are most inflammatory to us, red meat is on that list. So be moderate in how often you're taking that in. Sugar is probably one of the worst ones. Be moderate in that intake as well for so many reasons. Don't be misled by my list here on your handout, because the foods listed under that paragraph are actually anti-inflammatory. So those are excellent sources to take in. Did we forget to mention fish as an excellent source of protein? It is, and it's actually first on my list for anti-inflammatory food. In fact, even fatty fish. Now we're kind of going on from protein and adding fat to the mixture. We've talked about that a little bit, but I want to talk about some healthy fats, and fatty fish is one of those. So if you enjoy salmon, trout, tuna, halibut, sole, any of those fish, excellent sources of protein, cardiac or heart-healthy fats, and it is anti-inflammatory. Walnuts, almonds, so your nut family, good protein, also very high in fat, but it's cardiac healthy, and that includes peanuts and peanut butter. So enjoy that. Anti-inflammatory. Oils that we cook with, canola oil, olive oil, soybean oil. In fact, anything soy is anti-inflammatory, and soy is also another source of protein for us. Flax meal or flax oil, excuse me. Flaxseed does have to be ground for it to be beneficial at all for our bodies, but it is also very anti-inflammatory, and it is a heart-healthy fat. Soy products, we've already mentioned that. And here come the normal foods. If you enjoy onion, garlic, and oh please, green leafy vegetables, excellent sources to diminish inflammation in your body. Vegetables in general, as well as fruit, is an excellent nutrient source for our bodies. And guess what? Now we're talking about carbohydrates, especially the dark fruits, so anything red. If you enjoy blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, tomatoes, I probably consider those a vegetable, but some people consider them a fruit. Very anti-inflammatory and good for us as well. Red grapes, I've got a little bit of a list there. Avocados, excellent source of cardiac heart healthy fat and very anti-inflammatory. If you enjoy tea, green or black tea, and this isn't the herbal stuff, this is the real deal, but it's anti-inflammatory. A lot of people in our classes use turmeric as a supplement, and that's because it's very anti-inflammatory as well. So if you're doing that, that's probably why. It's also a yellow Asian spice, and you're welcome to use it as a spice on your food as well. The next list, vitamins and minerals, I'm not really going to talk about. I'm just going to let you be aware and read the list yourself. Very important for our health as well. I think it's a fun list because it explains what the vitamin or mineral is, which food it's found in, and what it will do to help you heal successfully after surgery. Last but not least, we do not consider constipation a four-letter word. We actually say it out loud and we talk about it. Constipation is something you do not want to have happen after surgery. If you have issues with it already, you probably have some tricks in your back pocket that you're using. Excellent. Keep that up. Have good supply at home on hand for after surgery. If you don't have any issues with constipation, I want you to listen up anyway, because we can do quite a number on your system with anesthesia or even a different pain medication that your body might not be used to. And pain medication in general does cause constipation anyway. I'm going to reinforce what Kelly said in class. Hydrate. Water, water, water. Not beer, beer, beer. That will not have the same effect. So stay hydrated, drink up. You might want to have a stool softener available in your cabinet. They are inexpensive, they're over the counter. But what a stool softener does is it takes fluid from your body, dumps it into your colon so that the stool is softened and moistened, making it easier to pass. It's just another plug for me to say drink, drink, drink. Water, water, water. All right, foods to stay away from to prevent constipation or not support constipation. Highly processed foods, okay? So what do I mean by that? Well, again, carbohydrates. If we're talking about grains and breads, not the enriched white flour. Not very healthy for you. Actually, I'm really talking a lot about junk food. So fast food, junk food, chips, sugary desserts, that sort of thing, does not really be very helpful for us in the prevention of constipation. The foods to go for are going to be your fruits and vegetables, because both of those things give us a lot of fiber, and that's crucial for our gut health and prevention of constipation. Consider whole grains, consider oatmeal, consider fresh or frozen are good choices in either fruits or vegetables. Home canned is okay, is excellent as well. Processed canned, a little bit less so, but still get those fruits and vegetables in. Stay away from dehydrated foods. Fruits especially, I'm thinking of. You want the moisture from that fruit. The only exception to that rule is going to be prunes. Prunes are dehydrated plums, and we think they're excellent in supporting the prevention of constipation. Dairy products are sometimes very binding to your system. So although dairy products can have some good sources of protein, cottage cheese, cheese itself, cheese is a little bit more difficult for your body to break down and digest, so you probably don't want to be eating a lot of that just before surgery and after. Red meat, same thing. It's a little bit more difficult to break down and digest, and therefore it can be more binding, causing some issues with constipation. All of that said, I would probably not encourage you as your meal before surgery to be pizza or that delicious huge steak, just because of the binding properties of both of those things for going into surgery. And you might want to leave it alone for a couple of days after surgery too, just to make sure everything is moving okay, no pun intended. I did put a recipe in the bottom corner of the back page. It's only 3 ingredients, so if you have issues with that, want to prepare for the issues that might occur afterwards, it's prune juice, applesauce, and wheat bran to give you the fiber. You can mix that up, store it in a glass jar in the refrigerator, take out a tablespoon or 3 or 4 as needed. And the last thing I'm going to leave with you is a recipe that the nurses gave me after my ortho surgery. I did not anticipate having any problems because I use chia seed and I use ground flax and I'm a good water drinker. I brought all of that with me to the hospital because back in the day, it was the 3rd day that I realized I was having trouble. You will not be in the hospital for 3 days. I'm almost certain, all right? And I say that because I would not have had this ingredient at home. It's prune juice. I don't like prune juice. So you may have to add something to your arsenal for this, but this is what the nurse brought me when I said, I'm in trouble, I'll do whatever you tell me to do. She brought me about 4 ounces, maybe a half a cup or so of prune juice that she had heated up in the microwave. But she also added 1 tablespoon of butter to it. She said, Greta, this is a brown cow, drink it. I did, and I don't remember it tasting bad. Again, I don't like prune juice, but it was my miracle, so I highly recommend that. Have some prune juice available to you just in case. Thank you. That's it for me. Oh my gosh, could I have some water?